G'day, g'day. How are you? How are you? Say hello if you're here, and if you're looking at this in the replay, do the hashtag replay thing and we'll get back to you. So today I've asked the question, or earlier on this week I asked the question, what's your climate like? And it's such an important question that's often overlooked. We get so excited about our awesome aquaponics system and our dream and our goals, and we forget understanding our climate is what really helps us understand the type of system that we need to build. So that's one of the first questions that I'm asking you, and I really want you to think about what is your environment like. So we've had a couple of responses, which is awesome. Well done, you guys. Fantastic for doing that, and thank you. And do I hear you say hello? Hello. And in those responses, we had a couple of extremes. Oh, hello, Michelle. Nice to see you. Hey, wow, I'm actually getting the hang of this technology thing. Anyone who knows me, I don't do technology well, so this is a huge achievement. Understanding your climate is really, really important. So one person said that they live in an area where it's fairly good climate, but the biggest thing they've got to deal with is the wind. Awesome, great identification there. Another person said that where they live, the temperatures, again, not that bad, but it's mostly on the hotter and more humid side of things, which I hate humidity, so I really feel for you on that one. But you've got to deal with cyclones. So understanding what that is, that helps you to then design your system to prevent problems. So if you're living in a hot area, then you're going to have different fish to those who are living in a cooler area. And for those who need to have, you know, things in place to make sure that you've got the shelter there for your animals and your fish and your aquaponic system, that's what you're going to need to actually do. So with my system, we don't get, in Queensland, it's not that cold where I live. There is a period of time where it gets a little bit cold, down into the low, 5 to 10 degrees. It's only for a couple of months, but I've built my frame so I can put the hothouse material up for that period when needed. You can also identify why did I choose this section to build the aquaponics system. I've got the fence over there, and it gets a lot of shade, and so it's perfect for the fish to be living there. They're not getting a whole lot of sun. They have some sun that comes that area, that way. But the plants, on the other hand, get a whole lot of sun for a long time, so they get a good 6 to 8 hours sun a day, whereas the fish don't get direct sunlight, and that's really important. So understanding what you're doing and where you're going to have your system is what's important. So if you're living in an area that's high humidity, and this area here is, well, I'm sure the humidity is higher in other places, but it's fairly intense for me who's from Melbourne, I have to make sure that I don't crowd my plants. We can get so caught up with the fish, and look, hands up there, I'm an aquaculturalist, I get very caught up in fish welfare, I know that, but we've got to make sure that we're also looking after plants. So within the humidity, if I have too many plants here when it's really, really humid, then they're going to get fungal issues. And the minute you get fungus and stuff like that happening in your plants, how long will that be before it's going into your aquaponic system and towards where the fish are? So there are all the things we need to look for. Now, we're talking about humidity, just because someone else did mention that, and I have that here, it's really easy. But I can get good airflow coming because I've got that fence that's there, which, we'll show you. We've got the fence there, but you can see how there's holes in that fence line. So I do actually get some air coming through, and so that provides a nice little, I don't want to say wind tunnel, because that's the wind tunnel there, but I do get the fresh breeze going through. So when you're looking at what your climate is, you need to look at what do I need to be aware of. Do I have big rainfall? And so make sure that your system's covered so that you're not going to get a lot of water flushing all of those nutrients out of your system. You don't want your system to flood. If you've got lots and lots of heat and sun, shade cloth. You're in a beach type of area. Okay, well, what do you need to look at? One, you need to look at where is the salt coming from in your area. Is that going to impact in any way? Being off the ground is a huge bonus there because the salt will be a lot more in the soil, so we've got that advantage. But what's the wind like where you are? Is that something you need to be aware of? What's the heat like? If you're living somewhere, and this is a bit strange to me who can't stand cold, if you're living somewhere where there's snow, how do you do your aquaponic system? Inside, perfect option. Got a garage, got a basement, got a spare room even. You can also build a greenhouse or hothouse outside. There are always options. So it comes down to what are your limitations, and that is how you make your first design is based